Alright, let's do some summons on Sieg. I have 76,000 crystals. I don't know how many months I've been saving. He also gave 60 free summons. Let's take a look at what they changed. The current Esper pool I think is going to be the same. Yeah, it's going to be him as the only legendary Esper. This is such a missed opportunity. Like I said, if there was a unfeatured Espers, like just imagine if there was a Meta Liling right here, and when you summon, you randomly get a Meta Liling. Damn, that would be so much better. You would get your guaranteed Siegfried, and you would also get your, unfeatured Espers as well, right? But yeah, they went with this route. And now they're also selling ripples instead of the unit itself. It still resets. So you still need to laser focus on one unit. But my advice would be to just not spend it right now because the meta is going to change a lot. I'm going to be summoning until I get like R1 of Siegfried. I'm just going to skip all of them because the multis don't really mean anything. When you get a legendary, you already know it's going to be Siegfried. So yeah, we're just going to blitz through this. I'm looking for his R1 because his R1 does increase his multiplier from 30% to 50% from his debuff. Okay, nice. We got him pretty early on from the free summons. Let's see if we can get like 2 in 1 multi. That would be perfect. Just one though. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. Nice. Alright, we got 1 copy of him from the free ticket, but I'm completely out of it. Alright, so we do still get more summons from this section right here. Alright, I'm just gonna do like 10 at a time because I don't want to waste. You should not go any further than 10 when you are summoning because the extra either this that you get is gonna be useless if you're not gonna go for additional resonance. The best way to go about this is actually to just go singles instead of pulling him like in a multi, because you don't want to be wasteful with your resource, right? Once you get your preferred resonance, then you should stop right there, because any additional either this that you have is going to be converted into gold records, which gold records at this point is going to be very low value. I would not advise you guys to spend any of your crystals on gold records anymore. The value for gold records has been significantly reduced, especially when they're oh nice, okay, not bad. We pulled him R1 with about 20 crystals, 20,000 crystals. Still 1 in the multi though. So yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. I have 5 more right here. I'm just gonna do singles. Maybe you can pull him in the singles right here. And then I'm just gonna stop. Maybe I might go for his R2. I don't really remember what his R2 is. I have not been playing this game like that much the past couple of weeks because there's really nothing to do. So yeah, I have not been testing him out. But I think for PvE, especially for the shadow bosses, is definitely going to be OP because you can bring him for all of the shadow bosses, and his DPS should be on par, if not better, than Elif, because Elif only has like her S1 and S3 multiplier, right? And S3 multiplier only if you bring Feng Shun, because then she can S1 into her S3, and her S1 does not have the highest of a multiplier. It's only 120% if I'm not mistaken. This guy has a 500% multiplier, by the way. I could go for his R2 if I wanted to, if I were to spend like 50,000 crystals to get this one as well. But let me see his R2 real quick. His R2 at the start of combat grants Dragon Breath to all allies for 2 turns. Okay, this one is actually pretty massive, but I think this is only going to be useful for Ritual Miracle. So for now, I'm going to stay at R1. Let's do some Divinate summons as well. I want him to be at D3. You should get him to D3 if you can. D3 is going to be his minimum because he will extend the duration of all Echo Scars by 1 turn. It goes up to 50%. And his damage primarily comes from the Echo Scar. And I think the best teams that you're going to run him in, I got one. The best team that you're going to run him in is going to be with Elif. If you can give the Dragon Breath to Elif and you have 100% uptime, that's going to be massive, because every single time Elif pursues, I think she's gonna proc the Echo Scar damage on the boss, which is gonna do like 500% multiplier if you have it maxed out. Alright, Divinate summon is not looking too good. I think I hit PT for like all of my Divinate summon. Come on, give me like double. Nope, still 1. Yeah, this is the summoning experience in Dislyte. It's just pretty much a skip for every single multi. You already know. Yeah, I can't even get him to D3. God damn. I've been saving for weeks and I couldn't even get him to D3. Amazing. Alright, I did a few missions to get one extra multi for the Divinate. He really does need the D3. Nice! We got it! Unscripted, by the way. Holy shit. Maybe we can get 2 in this multi? Nope, just 1. Okay. So D3, he really does need it because now it increases the chance of him extending the duration of Echo Stacks to 50%. This is going to be the bare minimum that you want him to be at. Obviously, if you want to go even further, D6, then that's also a good idea because it's going to be the main DPS for most of the Shadow bosses. I think it's going to be good for all 3 of the Shadow bosses, not so much for Shadowglow. So the first showcase I'm going to try is him in Shadowfire. Let me build the team first. This is my old Shadowfire team. Make sure on the Hades set. And this team can score an average of 1 billion with the level 70 Ming Sure. Now I'm going to be removing him. Now keep in mind, you do need to run him in the front as the second spot because his S2 will only work. He will only give the Dragon Breath to your allies if you have him at the second most leftmost spot. Now the best DPS for Shadowfire is not even Sloan or Ming Sure anymore. It's going to be R6D6 Valeria with Meta Era. But we're going to see if he can compete against Ming Sure and Sloan. Because if he can out DPS Sloan, especially at level 60 and R1, then you're not going to be running either Sloan or Ming Sure anymore. I'm also missing a lot of stats. Again, he's not level 70, so that's a lot of stats lost. And also, we're at 600 million. Not bad. If I can hit like 800 million, that would be better than my current Ming Sure team. Because again, I'm missing a lot of stats from D6. I'm missing a lot of stats from level 70 as well. And also for Shadowfire, it's not the best team for him to run. Oh, there we go. 1 billion. Because you want to kind of run him in a team that can reduce his cooldown. The best team would be, I think, look at this. The best team would be to run R2 Wenlock with him so that you can reduce his S2 cooldown. The main source of his damage is going to be coming from his debuff. As long as you can keep the debuff at 10 stacks and your allies have a high uptime on the Dragon Breath, then you're going to be doing a lot of damage with this guy. But if you cannot keep up the debuff, then he's not going to be doing a lot of damage. Because most of his damage is going to be coming from his debuff, right? It has 50% multiplier if you have him at R1 for each stack, and it can stack up to 10 times. So whenever your allies do damage, they will also proc his debuff, which will do 500% of his damage, or his attack. That can also crit. I think for now, I'm just going to be showcasing him in the Shadow bosses. Because right now, for Certain Fantasy boss, it's only Sonica. And for Sonica, it's not the best, I think, to run him. Because in Sonica, you need to run multi-hit Espers, which he isn't. I don't know how the interaction with his debuff works. Because if it does full damage, even when he has damage reduction from Sonica's debuff, then he's going to be good for Sonica. But if he does do reduced damage, then he's not going to be good for Sonica. So when it comes to Shadowfire, again, you're going to be running him in the second spot, in the front, to give your entire team the Dragon Breath. And he's not going to die because he has a lot of lifesteal. I think it's from his one of the buff, I don't know. He has a SA for his skills, so I can't really remember what he does. But he has lifesteal. I think it's the debuff, right? The debuff, whenever you do damage, it will heal him by 20% of the damage. So it's pretty much going to be full heal every single time you proc the debuff. So again, from the D3 effect, you can easily stack up the debuffs to 10. And it's right now at 3 turns. If you don't have the D3 effect, you're going to be really struggling to extend the debuff. And if you can extend it to 10 stacks and with a lot of turns, then you're not going to be doing a lot of damage with him. So in False Auto Fantasy, especially when the boss is fast, it's going to be difficult, I think, for him to work, especially in Forbiter. Because in Forbiter, if you cannot cycle fast enough, you cannot extend the debuff to 10 stacks. And also because like Forbiter is really fast, right? He's the fastest boss in False Auto Fantasy. He has like, I think, 1000 speed or something once you ramp him up. So stacking up the debuff on Forbiter is going to be really difficult. I don't know if it's going to work in False Auto Fantasy that well. But in Dark Starlord, I think Team 1, he's going to go crazy. I forgot to show you the sets, but right now I'm running him on a standard DPS Thor set. And I'm also running him on a 2-piece Brawler set because he's going to be assisting a lot when I have Alice and Meta Era in the team. Yeah, every time the debuff procs, he does like 600,000 damage. I think he hasn't stacked up fully because he is very slow right now. Yeah, 57,000 10 times. So that's 570,000 damage. And it's still going up because he hasn't fully stacked up the accentuated buff. I'm also not running Shenpin in this team because my Shenpin is not R2. My attack up buff uptime is not that high as well because my Unas is only R1. R2 Unas will definitely be very beneficial for this team. And also obviously if you have R2 Shenpin, it's going to be a huge upgrade over Alice, right? Alice does not give the additional stats, the additional damage increase from the horse buff that Shenpin provides, and also the AP push as well. Again, I'm missing the 6 stats and also level 70, and his damage is at 1 billion. 1 billion, Meta Era did 1.1, sorry, that's 1.1 million on Meta Era. No, that's 100 million, right? 100 million on Meta Era and 1 billion on Siegfried. So yeah, once I get him to level 70, he will definitely replace my Ming Shuo team. Alright, next boss is going to be Shadowstream. My old team is, which one is it? This one right here. Where I'm running Ming Shuo and also Sienna. But now, I'm going to be running him in place of Ming Shuo. And I'm also going to be running Wenlock, R2 Wenlock specifically. Because I think it's going to be very beneficial to reduce his S2 cooldown. The higher the uptime of the Dragon Breath, the better the damage is going to be, right? Because the Dragon Breath will trigger the Echo Scar damage on the target. So if you have higher uptime on the Dragon Breath and your allies can do more damage with the Dragon Breath, then you're going to be proccing the debuff more often. Here's the sets. Just speed fast on everyone. I don't have any crit rate on him because I'm running Wenlock. When you run Wenlock, you don't need any crit rate on your DPS because they're going to get 100% eventually. And I'm also still running the Brawler set with a little bit of speed this time around because I do need him to cycle his S2 a lot of times to reapply the Dragon Breath. So yeah, let's go ahead and do one multi. My old team with the Ming Shuo team, the highest average I got was 223 million. I think with this team, ooh, okay, it's not the greatest. 80 million, maybe I'll try to remove, it's taking a while though. I'll try to remove Wenlock and try Sienna once again. Oh my god! 400 million? Nandato! What the hell is going on? Okay, so that 80 million is because I think that 80 million is because he died. 400 million though. I don't know if it's better than Lapis. I don't have R6 Lapis. My Lapis is only R1. No, R0. And she's at D0 as well. Maybe he's not better than Lapis. But the RNG is kind of crazy though. We go from 80 million and 100 million to 400 million all of a sudden. The average is looking... Okay, another 400 million. The average is looking better than my Ming Shuo team already. 270 million is kind of crazy. But sometimes you'll have runs where it dips to 100 million, right? So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Again, 500 million, 100 million. The next one is going to be 600 million, I think. So, yeah, level 70 will probably bring the cap to 800 to a billion. Yeah, look at this. I'm jumping between 100 million and 500 million. The next one is going to be 100 million again. Or, okay, never mind, 300 million. I don't know why it's inconsistent. It's probably because he died somewhere. Which, I don't know if it's possible for him to die. Unless he gets one shot, right? He can still get one shot if you put him in the front and he's too squishy. But even still, him getting one shot and I'm still getting like... Oh, it's already done. And I'm still getting like 90 million is a little bit odd. Since my only DPS at that point is going to be Feng Shun. But I'm going to take a look whether he gets one shot or not. Right now, Lapis teams, level 70, fully maxed out Lapis teams with like R6 Unas can get upwards of 1 billion. But that's also still pretty hard. Most people will get 600 to 700 million with an R6 Lapis. And R6 Unas as well. But if you don't have R6 Unas, I think it's around 500 million average. Yeah, he gets one shot. So the 80 million runs is when he gets one shot. So Instead of running just 2 units in the front, I'm gonna now be running 3 units in the front. I think I can do this instead. Yeah, this is probably better. It should be around like 500 to 600 million average now, because he's not gonna be dying anymore. Yeah, 300 million. Yeah, again, the higher the uptime of the Dragon Breath that you have, the better it is for you. So if you can run R2 Wenlock, if you do have him, then you should, I think. I'm gonna try at some point with non-R2 Wenlock as well. I think with the Sienna, I don't think Sienna is gonna be that good with him, because she has 1 down turn. She's gonna be wasting the Dragon Breath effect. Whenever she has 2, that's no hits, right? If you don't do any hits, you're not gonna be proccing the Echo Scar at damage at all. So you mostly just want to bring him with allies that can do damage with all 3 of their skills. Feng Shun can do damage with S2, S3, and S1. Shen Pin can do damage with all of her skills. Again, Unas as well can do. It's taking forever though. I think we're hitting 1 billion right here. Yeah. The game probably bugged out. I don't know what's going on. I think I hit 10 billion or something. Usually when it does this, it's when you get like a perma run, which I don't know why it's possible for this team to get a perma run. I think we got a billion. What is that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 500 million. I don't know why that took longer than the previous 500 million, but whatever. You want to be running him with Espers that can do damage with all 3 of their skills, right? And the team that I'm running right now, every single Esper can do damage with all of their skills. If you bring an Esper that has like 1 skill that has no damage at all, like for example, Lu Sheng, when he does his S3, he's not going to be proccing the Echo Scar damage at all. So you're going to be missing out on 600 to 1 million damage every single time your Lu Sheng or any of your supports do a buff skill or any other skill that doesn't do any damage. So the current average is at 390 million. So it improved my best average with a level 70 Mingshuo, by the way, to about 100 and I don't know, 100 and something million. You can see the score right now though. Let's see if I ranked up for Shadowstream or not. Again, this is level 60 Sieg, and okay, we're not at top 64 still, because Lapis teams with R6 Unas is still kind of busted. I think with the level 70 Sieg, I'm able to get top 64 with this team. Alright, moving on to Shadowgale. I will not be running Meta Drew for now. Next team is going to be Meta Drew. I'm going to keep Elif in the team because I think his Dragon Breath will work really well with Elif, because she can pursue with her S1. And then that can proc the additional damage, I think. Next team, I'm going to be trying to remove either Sachiko or this one for Meta Drew. I had to remove someone, so I removed R6 Sakura. Maybe R6 Sakura is better than Unas in this case, especially when my Unas is on R6. But let's just try this team first. I don't remember what my best average for this boss right here. 400 million without Meta Drew is pretty good. I think my highest average for this one was 500 million, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, wait. Oh, that's only 72 million. I thought it was 700 million for a second there. Yeah, definitely if you have Meta Drew is definitely gonna be 580 million. If you have Meta Drew, then Meta Drew is still gonna be one of the best supports that you can run in this team, because ignoring defense is way better than what Zihi is gonna provide. Oh, I got a call just now. But we ended the average with 500 million. Now we're gonna be switching out Zihi for Meta Drew, and I also want him to die as well, so I'm gonna be running him in the front just to stack up a few damage reduction, maybe 1 or 2. I think that's about it, right? Everything else is the same. Yep. Alright, let's go in. I think this is gonna be probably 1 billion average. Yeah, we're at 600 million average at this point. Sometimes you get runs where you get 190 million. This team does not have any healers, by the way, so it's gonna be very risky. I think it's better to run like a slightly tankier team. Look at that, almost 1 billion without R6 Unas. If you do have R6 Unas, this is definitely gonna be super easy to hit 1 billion. Yeah, sometimes you'll have runs where you get 139 million. 1 billion! There we go! 1.7 billion, or no, 1 billion and 70 Am I brained it? 1 billion and 78 million, right? Yeah. 1 billion 78 million. Again, no healers for this team. Maybe I can remove Shen Pin. Actually, I do think I need to remove Shen Pin because my team doesn't have any debuff remover. Yeah. Una's immunity is only 1 turn, so he cannot help with the stun that non-R2 Shen Pin will do to your team. Alright, my Siegfried is about to cast his S2, which will then give my Elif the Dragon Breath. So I want to see if whenever Elif does her S1, is it going to proc the additional damage or not? Let's put it at ×3. Alright, so now Elif has the Dragon Breath, right? Yep. 2 turns. So when she pursues, she doesn't do additional damage. Unless... Okay, it doesn't. So pursuits will not do the additional damage. You need to take active turns for it to do additional damage, right? But it's still a very good buff for Elif to have though. It's a plus 15% attack. We only got ×16 multiplier as well. And the damage layout, let's see if we can compare with level 70 Elif. He did half of Elif's damage while also being level 60 and non-D6 as well. Because again, I don't have an R2 Shen Pin, so that's really going to hurt my team. We're now going to be running Sakura, so the heals will also be very useful for Unas. He can sometimes die. 400 million. Yeah, I don't know if it's better or not. Next, I'm going to be trying to remove Sakura and putting in Zihi. Yeah, Sakura over Shen Pin is definitely safer because you have heals to keep your team up. But it seems like you're not going to be hitting 1 billion with this team. 637 million average. Let's remove her. And we put in... Oh my god. We put in Zihi. This might be better than the Shen Pin team because I don't have the stuns anymore. But also not having Shen Pin, I have less turns to cycle because Shen Pin does AP push with her S2 and also S1 as well. But the damage increase from Zihi is going to be way more damage because it's 50% over Shen Pin's 25%. The average is almost 700 million. That's pretty good for a non-R6 Unas team, but if you have Unas, getting to 1 billion is really easy. Right now, the average for Unas teams is, I think, 1.4 billion or even higher. The average for Unas teams is at 1.8 billion, 1.3 billion, almost a billion for this team. But yeah, all of them will feature Meta Drew. But getting 600 million average with a non-R6 Unas and non-R2 Shen Pin is really impressive. Let's see if that improved my score or not. I think my old score was around 400 million average or 500 million something. 600 million and we're still not top 64. So yeah, that's about it for the showcase. For now, I'm just gonna stay at level 60. I think I might use the reset event or the rewind event to rewind my Ming Shuo and then get an early showcase of his level 70 because I don't really have anything to use for the rewind event. I'm gonna try some teams with him in Counter Sonica off camera, but I don't think it's gonna work that well because he is a single hit Esper. And single hit Espers don't really work that well in Counter Sonica. And in Shadowglow, he might work. Yeah, but that's gonna be a lot of theory craft. You know what? I'm gonna try him in Shadowglow. I think it might work. Alright, I'm gonna be removing Shen Pin from the team and also Ming Shuo and add him this guy and Yu Jing as well, so that I can spam his S3 and S2. I might even give my Yu Jing the R2. I do have an extra copy of Yu Jing, but I held out using the resonance on her. I'm just making sure that he has the lowest HP, plus 16,000. Holy hell, he has really high HP. Let's see here, plus 22,000, that's around 32,000. 27, okay, that should be enough. Let's do 10 Blitz. I don't think this team is gonna work that well. Yeah, it's only scoring 30 million. Because you do need him to stack up his debuff to 10 stacks for him to do good damage. C ranking. If you cannot stack up the debuff, then he's not going to be doing that well. So yeah, Ming Shuo is still better than him for this specific boss. But for the other shadow bosses, he is going to be insane. I have him at level 60 and D3. So I'm missing a lot of stats. And he still managed to break all 3 of my shadow bosses' overall best average, which is very impressive. I'm definitely going to be trying him at level 70. I might just rewind my Ming Shuo and get him to level 70 early. We are getting 2 level 70s this patch, so that's gonna be nice. And yeah, again, before you use him, make sure that he is going to be in the second spot right here, because if you don't run him in the second spot, then his Dragon Breath effect is not going to be active. You will only get this Dragon Breath if you have him at the second spot. So make sure that he is in the second spot. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be doing a lot more testing on him. And yeah, ciao.